Good afternoon to all of you. So myself, Dr. Pawan Kumar Oja, and I'm from the Department of Aeronautical Engineering. Let me introduce our guest today. So he is Mr. Manish Kumar. He graduated in the year 2013 in Aeronautical Engineering from Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Then he pursued his master in Space Engineering and Rocketry from Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra. And after that, he worked as an assistant professor in the Department of Aeronautical Engineering, Pirdarsani College of Engineering, from 2015 to 17. And then later on, he joined as a junior research fellow in Department of Aerospace Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. Then he worked as a junior research fellow for 1 year on the research topic combustion characteristics of alternative jet fuel. And then he got inducted into PhD program in the year 2018, and now he is pursuing his PhD in the same domain. He has around 6 to 7 publications on his name, international journals and in international journals and conferences. Apart from the academic, he actively involved in the challenges competition at the college and school level from time to time. In the year 2012, he participated in a green aviation challenge floated by NASA when he was doing his undergraduation, and he secured first place in that challenge in the year 2012. He secured second place in international level RC air competition, which was held at Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Trivandrum, in the year 2012. Then he also secured second place in aero design and fabrication. And at school level, he participated in speech competition and secured second place. So apart from his research, he is actively participated in different competitions from time to time. So I welcome you, Mr. Manish, on behalf of the Parul University and also on the behalf of Department of Aeronautical Engineering. And I thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Pawan sir, for inviting me in these things. Means it's an honor for me. Okay, so shall I start?
Yeah, the session. I hand over the session to you. You can carry forward. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. As it is scheduled, the topic is that recent status on alternative aviation fuel. That is myself, Manish Kumar, as into Pawan sir has introduced me. I am doing PhD in IIT Kharagpur. The content of this webinar is that what is an alternative fuel? Why the need of alternative fuel? Sustainability, commitment, economic viability, and technical certification. So first of all, before discussing these things, we need to know about that little bit of aviation. Means actually why aviation is important so far. That's why we are doing we have to discuss alternative fuel and all. So first of all, we need to know that why aviation is important. As we know, it is the fastest growing industry in the world so far, and those countries which have a aviation industry, it should be called as a developed nation or developing nation. So, and estimated, air transport moves roughly around 3.8 billion passengers annually nowadays. And actually, the aviation industry almost offer 63 million jobs globally. So, and the global economic impact is estimated nearby around 2.67 trillion. And so about because of these all these things, so nowadays the aviation industry is very important for any country. So that's why most of the countries not have taken an interest, or industry has taken interest to develop more, because we cannot accept, we cannot imagine means future without aviation industry. So right now we are facing a many challenges in the aviation industry, like for the design point of view, a structure point of view, avionics point of view, or fuel point of view. So here the topic is alternative fuel. So basically, I will discuss on the fuels, what are all the challenges we are facing, and what are all the current research is going on, and how we are going to overcome these things. So as we see, that day by day, what we are seeing that the fossil fuel are decreasing. It's common to all. Means like automobile industry have the same kind of the thing. Means they are also suffering in similar kind of the situation. Like second thing is that uh, pollutant emission, like we can say nitrous oxide, CO, SO2. So these are the uh, globally impacting the environment. Third thing is that day by day means with on a year, as you can see from graph also, means it's increasing. The fuel prices is increasing very rapidly, and it's also common because the fossil fuel are decreasing. So obviously, there means the fuel price will increase. So that's why, because what's happening means price is also increasing. And the fourth thing is that the fossil fuels, that expenditure means distribution of fossil fuels is limited. It is specific to few countries. So that's why it is country like us. It is very difficult to grow at that level. So that's why means now means it's a important that we could have a different kind of fuel which all country can afford it, or they can manufacture. So that's why that alternative fuel came into the picture. So that's why for that all these things issue that scientific community has to look for a new fuel or modify the existing fuel. As you can see in the graph also, as I discussed earlier, means it is reported that in 2016 the passenger was nearby around 3.8 billion, and it is expected that in 2035 it is going to be double. So you can see means we can imagine that how far that aviation industry is moving. Even that in 2016 the scheduled flight was around uh, 38 million, and it is also going to be doubled. So and byproduct of that means by that, because of that we are that every year that aviation industry contribution 2% carbon growth. That is the big challenges for us, because as we are saying that our environment are right now in a very bad situation. So that's why we have to think for a different kind of the fuel. Here you can see means around every year that aviation industry almost contributing 781 million tons carbon dioxide to the environment. So actually means you can see from this graph, we can see that the growth of aviation industry, and due to that a certain new technology, and we achieved a lot, and we still in future we have to achieve a lot. Because as you can see, if we have done nothing, so our the environment should be somewhere here, but we have improved the shape. We have got the we right now we have the waste aerodynamical structure. So because of that, we have seen a lot differences in the emissions, and these differences we can see because of that new certain kind of technology. And as if we are not doing anything from this position, so it is expected that we are going to be nearby around at this level. But actually, our target now, most of the country has taken interest to reduce the carbon emissions. So after that, by employing the different potential alternative fuel, we can go to the 0% carbon, means carbon neutral kind of the thing. So for that, we have to think for the new fuel or modify the existing fuel. So in that way, we have to proceed. So we can by 2050 we can go to the carbon neutral. Actually, here the term is like whenever we are when the any means any industry or something like say means alternative fuel mostly come in the picture, like that they are generally comes to both at biofuel. Actually, means biofuel is not the not 100% solution of that. Means like in biofuel also there are the few things like palm oil and all that will cause a deforestation. So that is also not a good thing to directly say that biofuel, because in many magazines we have seen like whenever we are talking that alternative aviation fuel, they come to they that biofuel come into the picture. So we have to say sustainable alternative fuel. So in that way, that term should be better for that. So whatever the fuel means, whatever the alternative fuel which has a potential and which cannot destroy the our environment, or that can be sustainable, or so that fuel can be feasible to present aviation industry, and we can improve that can be usable in our present aircraft. So in that way we have to stick, means we have to give the terminology. So right now means the alternative fuels mainly we used to prepare, because this is the third generation of the fuel that is made by green algae. So and like Jatropha, these are the feedstocks of the biofuels. Sorry, means alternative fuel. That waste, solid waste, we can use that one also. Jatropha, camelina, yeast, salicornia. Nowadays means used cooking oil also came into picture. We can go for that biodiesel kind of the things, and that can be extracted as a biodiesel, and we can use in the aviation industry. Actually, now the means nowadays that recent approved alternative fuel, which is widely used in the many countries, like synthesized isoparaffin, hydroprocessed ester, fatty acid synthetic paraffin, that is called HEPA SPK, and FTK SPK, that FTSPK that featured proposed synthetic paraffin kerosene. So nowadays that these fuels are globally used. Means this is certified. So generally that from the feedstock we use, like this is the feedstock, we take it we take this feedstock to the industry and we process it, and these are the processor, we can process this and we can use this as a alternative fuel. So that is quite means the thing is like we are not impacting the environment. Second things that we are means no country can depend on any country. They can uh, uh, do their agreements. They can prove their these kind of the things in their own uh, land, and they can grow it, and they can get the proper alternative fuel, and they can use. So in that way, the country will be not depend to the other country. Means in that, so these are the benefits of the bio means alternative fuel. Sorry. So there are the some key advantages as we discuss environmental benefits. Around most of the in few biofuel we have tested, we have seen that around 80% reduction in CO emission. Even some biofuel we have tested in our lab also, we have found quite better result that we will discuss later. Diversified of the supply means around and economic growth. This will also means if we are going to alternative fuel, this will create a new kind of job opportunity, and due to that, what will happen that country will get extra economical sources, and it will enhance the GDP of the country. Uh, so actually for that, it is also not a very easy means simply means we can get it. For that, many collaboration is required, like industry point of view, like means country point of view, country policy point of view, like political point of view. Then only we can achieve this such kind of the target. So, and it is expected that means the annual improvement nearby around 1.5% by 2020, and it will reduce the CO2 emission, and by around by 2050, as I discussed in earlier, that by 2050, that most of the country has taken a target, it will go to the carbon neutral. So before means whatever we can extract fuel from any feedstock, but the thing is like without testing we cannot employ. So a certain testing, certain certification is required. Then only that particular fuel can be globally expected for the like aviation industry. So for that, a different kind of the testing parameter testing level is there, like laboratory testing, ground testing, and air testing. After the all the testing, we used to go for the we can go for the that globally that biofuel can be globally applicable for the aviation industry. So initially, that comes in that laboratory testing. In that actually, for any new fuel, that the characterization of the fuel property is very essential, because characterization of the fuel property, combustion characteristic, automation characteristic. So these are the things is very essential. So that we will go in details. Means what are all the things have to done means regarding the characterization of these things. So actually, the characterization of fuel property we need to see the means lower heating value (LHV) we call. So that should be made to the present Jet-A1 viscosity, surface tension, because these properties should be of that nearby of present fossil fuels, so that uh, so that we can go for the further kind of the testing. And after that, we need to see the automation characteristics like a spray length, cone length, drop size, droplet velocity means so that actually affect the combustion performance. So that's why after that we need to go like emission profile, what are all the gases comes, and we need to compare it whether it is coming like greater what is the level of that, whether it is higher than Jet-A1 or lower than Jet-A1. Temperature profile, we need to see the temperature profile, and frame shape and size, because these things affect our engine. So initially level also we have to check. Then only we can go for that further round of testing. Why these things? A small level is very important for the testing, because directly if we are going to the employ the such a new kind of new fuel in the aircraft engine, what will happen? That will destroy our engine, and that cost will become a very high. So that's why to reduce that damages and all, we are going for a step by step testing. Then after that, we can go for that ground testing. Like we in particular in separate engine, we are doing several kind of tests like emissions, temperature, exhaust gas temperature, and ISP and all. So this we used to go. Then after that, we are going for that particular. We are going for that testing in here by using means generally what will happen that in a one or two engine, we that engine is run by totally a biofuel or biofuel blended, and we are seeing how that engine is performing at that level while that landing, cruise, and full air condition, whatever the worst condition we can achieve. So all that condition that flight had been tested for particular fuel, so that we after the full confirmation from all this testing, that that can be widely globally accepted as a alternative aviation fuel. So that process is quite long, but it still means many industry nowadays have taken interest, like Airbus, Safran Aerospace, Boeing, Qatar Airways. In India also, in recently, SpiceJet have tested biofuel. So as you can see, in 2008 that Airbus has tested their flight, which is run by 50% of GTL. That is, and in 2000 engine most of the means and recently that Airbus is Airbus 747, I think they that aircraft is run by that biofuel. So these are the chain of the means how we are going to use the alternative aviation fuel. So Basically, what will happen? We will collect the feedstock, we will process it, we will find out we will refine it, and we will distribute it to the airport. So these are the general chain, and this is applicable for that fossil fuels too also. So for that, actually, for employing that that any fuel means it is going very slow. So to speed up these things, actually industry means most of the industry, aviation industry, have to collaborate themselves. Uh, Biofuel cover uh, aviation has a limited solution, and biofuel can be means one of the things for that. So for that, actually, means to for that a country their country decision means whatever the policies of the country. So everything come in its picture means it's everything everyone means have to collaborate each other. Then only means such kind of a target is achievable to us. Many in the means as we have discussed, like most of the country have to come, and means right now that that in US also means earlier that when that Paris agreement is happened, a France agreement is happened. In that also, most of the country was uh, have a signed deal regarding the boost to biofuel for the aviation industry. So these are the new means reset advantage happening, and most of the countries have taken interest to boost these kind of the things. So actually, but in that also investor have to invest the money in it, and in that way we can achieve by 2050 we can go the carbon neutral. And And after that, thank you everyone. These are the overview of that biofuel, what all the things is going on. So for that, I would like to thank you everyone. And Pawan, if any question from you guys, you can ask to me.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Manish, for your valuable time. The information is very valuable to us, and so I have not received any question yet.
Okay.
Let us wait for some more time. Let me check here in the Facebook as well.
Hmm.
Anybody is having any question can text in the chat box, or if you are having my number, students, you can directly
Even
text.
I think so. They can send a mail means like in later on also means if someone have it out means like if not now means.
Yeah, any further thing you also need to know, you can directly contact to
Hmm.
speaker as well as me also.
Hmm.
No issue.
Hmm. Hmm.
Any question, guys? You can text in the chat box. So, Manish, uh,
Hmm.
a, a question from a faculty member that
Hmm.
is alternative fuel, that is biofuel, is being used for rocket
Hmm.
engines till date? Or if yes,
Biofuel can't we means biofuel we cannot say because as we know that means a rocket needs high ISP. Okay, so till now we have a not kind of the thing means we can directly means biofuel can. So I think for that rocket kind of a thing, so we are going for that energetic particle. As my colleague means my as Pawan sir also have done similar kind of the investigation there. So for that I think energetic particles is required.
okay, guys, any other question?
Still because still biofuel is struggling for the aviation industry because most of the biofuel are not able to give such much that much energy. So that's why we are still means that aviation industry is struggling too for that power supply.
Yes. Any other question, guys? Anybody? Okay, Manish.
Hmm.
One question
Uh,
from another faculty member that
okay.
uh, what are the diagnostic techniques that generally being used?
Like there are the
Combustion,
many means.
combustion, combustion
Uh,
diagnostic techniques.
okay. Combustion like means like we need to diagnose the emission profile means for that things we need to go for that. Generally in our lab we used to use test of 360 emission analyzer, then the temperature profile inside the flame that we to measure the temperature profile we use generally we use that thermocouple and because a thermocouple B type thermocouple J type thermocouple, this kind of the thermocouple. And nowadays that we are going for that chemiluminescence also means like during the combustion, the radicals form. That radicals are measured by a chemiluminescence, means that ICCD camera, and from that we can able to get that many things, many information we can get it like that local equivalence ratio, local flame temperature distribution. So these are the tools, advanced tools we generally use, and after that also means like in when we are going for that in ground testing, that kind of the means noise testing has been done. So these can give that better clarity of that particular means how with particular field how that engine is working. So these are the tools means diagnostic tools.
And how you used to characterize the fuel mixture during the automation? Cold flow.
Uh,
I'm talking about the
First,
cold flow.
cold flow like generally we use that PDPA, PIV things like generally that automation characteristics. What are all the things? First of all, we need to measure. Like generally we use generally that a spray length, a spray cone angle that is measured by high speed camera, whatever that range, and means after that that PDPA that is laser kind of the tool is there. That PDPA generally it's give that what are all the drop size of that particular fuel means but from that what minimum droplet or maximum droplet is coming and because that droplet will affect the later on it will affect your combustion performance, so we need to measure that droplet size, so that PDPA is improved what is the velocity and all. So for that PIV is required how that droplet is going in during the means automation process, so that can be traced by PIV.
Okay.
Mm.
Any other question?
But before that actually before that we need to go further for each fuel we need to go for that characterization of the fuel means we need to checklist of the all the fuel property, then only we can go with that further process, because that will save our cost.
So characterization means what? What do you mean?
Characterization of fuel means like LHB, surface tension, viscosity, density, means whatever C by H ratio, C by O ratio. So whatever all these things is there,
Oh,
means we need to check all these property, and then only, because if any of the property is not matching, then later on we that will affect your automation characteristics or combustion characteristics. So whether by investing that much time, we need to first of all, if we will cross check over here, so directly we will find out whether this fuel will work or not.
yes, true.
Hmm.
Any other question, guys? Yes, one question, Manish. It has been
Hmm.
asked by one of the faculty member that
Hmm.
can we also mix the
I think you are
existing
talking
yeah,
blending kind of the thing.
can we
Means
can we
I
add
think.
the conventional liquid fuels what are being
Yes,
used
yes, 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 yes. In
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 some quantity
in
in
most of the,
biofuel?
yeah, surely, means like in a small quantity, or even that we have to check, means again we have to check after the blending, we have to cross check that their property, means how is the property, then only we can go for that further round of the testing. Means so we can add it, because in recently I published one my paper in fuel. So there also we have go for the blending kind of thing. We have, and we have found that in somewhere that blending are giving better results in combustion characteristics. Butanol Jet1 and Jet1 has given better result than Jet1. So in that way we have to test it and we can check out. Means the research is going on. So many research paper you can get it, even that in Google Scholar many way that people have done in that way.
So blending of the conventional liquid fuels with the biofuels is also one option.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, some industry also have done similar kind of a thing, like the blending of these fuel. Like as you know, many means few of them, like SpiceJet recently have done with that green algae tasty with the collaboration of IIT Kanpur and Honeywell. So in that also they have taken 40% green algae fuel and 60% jet fuel.
Okay, means 40 60 ratio.
60% is jet one and 40% is green algae fuel, fuel which is extracted from the green algae.
Okay,
Hmm.
and what sort of then combustion characteristics does these blended fuels actually present?
Pardon, please, I am not able to get your question.
Or
What?
what
Uh,
kind of combustion characteristics then these blended
uh-huh.
fuel would present?
Actually, it depends. Actually, means like yeah, most of means there are the many blending, means it depends upon the researcher how blending they are doing. So according to blending ratio, that combustion characteristics will vary. Okay. So in my case, we have done for that this kind of a testing with the butanol and butyl butyrate. So what we have found when we are going for the higher loading of butanol, means like as we are increasing the loading, means we have till tested till 50%. As we are increasing the loading of butanol, we have seen better result in butanol. But the trend got reversed in butyl butyrate. When we are increasing the butyl butyrate, the combustion performance is not much good. It is less than the Jet one. So these are the drawbacks. It depends upon the fuel property and why that butanol has given better result, because the boiling point of the butanol and Jet one is different. So because of that, during the combustion, micro explosion is happening, and which enhances the combustion process. But that thing is not happening in the butyl butyrate. So whenever the things is like whenever the blending is going, so in that blending the case will go in different way. So that's why that initial combustion testing is required.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So I have not received any further question. Uh, then in that case, any question, guys? We still have time, some time. Okay, all right. Then in that case, if I'm not receiving any further question, I should
Yeah,
wind up the
yeah,
session.
yeah. They can send directly mail to you, or they can send mail to us.
Yes,
Okay, so in that way we can. Okay, so I think so. I need to means.
yes, Manish. Thank you so much for accepting our
Yeah,
invitation for this seminar.
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, okay.
Goodbye.